Hello, welcome back to my channel, Know by Design Golf. I'm Karen Davis, LPGA professional, and I'm going to go over today what I did with a few of my lady students that wanted to have some key steps to follow for their winter practice so that they could instantly start to work on some key elements of shot making and also be ready to go when the weather is a lot warmer in the early spring. So I'm going to go over 5 key elements. 5. So with Liz, we made a major breakthrough when I put this towel behind the ball, and when she went into her L, she was headed more towards disturbing the ground, avoiding the towel, and disturbing the grass after. So creating drills and creating tasks in your practice for 3 balls at a time, and then taking those 3 shots and focusing on one thing at a time, and then taking 3 more and focusing on one other thing, and then combining it, and then creating a shot with a intention so that you create more certainty and trust will really help you launch the ball and get clean, crisp contact, especially with your irons and your hybrids. So as a newer golfer, you want to start practicing with a shorter iron, like a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, an 8-iron, a 7-iron, and maybe a lofted hybrid, a 7, a 6, maybe a 5, and just start following the steps that I show you in this video, and you should be able to start to create a better motor program, a more subconscious swing, and start to recognize where you get a little bit off. And remember, each shot is a creation newly. It's not trying to repeat what you just did. I put out videos like this for free every week, and it would be wonderful if I could get a little more support with subscribe, make some comments, give me a thumbs up. And I would really appreciate if you maybe shared what you might be interested in me sharing in one of these weekly coaching sessions. So I'm making sure that it's not all the way up in the palm, that the heel pad is going on top, that my left thumb is off center and it's to the right. Depending on how your arm hang is, you may or may not see 1, 2 knuckles. Some of you may see 3. But we definitely want to be able to hold it so that we can hinge and unhinge our wrists, like hammering, especially on the downswing. Okay? With the right hand, you can just abut your index finger close to your little finger close to your left index finger, or you could overlap, and then the lifeline is covering your left thumb. But there's no visible gaps here or between the lower thumb and index, so your right index finger is on the side of the grip. That's my grip. And that's more like what we did with Liz in the session. She started off like this, and we saw a lot of fingernails. We don't want to see that. So what I did with my student Liz was calibrate her grip. That was the best way for her to train in her grip, and then also calibrate her aim and her setup. So we want to be in a setup that allows us to flow, be balanced, and synchronize our swing. And then also how to walk into a shot and aim. So I've got the golf ball sitting here, and my target is to send the ball over this basket. And so when we go to aim, we want to be aiming our club face first, and then getting our feet aligned after that. But what's most important is how our shoulders, forearms are aligned. So this would be good aiming to learn. And then you also want to start to figure out for yourself what is a dynamic, ready start position for you. So I've got an alignment stick on the ground. Doesn't matter whether it's on the grass or on a hard surface on a golf mat. But when you go to set up, you want to get where you're not too much on your heels and you're not too much on your toes. You want to feel like your weight is on the balls of your feet and your heels, and your hands and arms are hanging down, so that you can make a swing where you're able to stay in posture and be able to turn and face the target. So work on that to calibrate your aim and your setup, and make that a process that you do and learn more automatically before every shot. So folks, where you are viewing me from, you are on my target line out, all the way out to say 140 yards up to the green. I see a lot of golfers when they walk into a shot, they've done all their conscious thought and calculations, and then I see them walking in from different locations, and then when they walk in, they put their feet in, and then they put their club face, and that's the orientation of their upper body and their eyes. And then they wonder why they are hitting poor shots and feel like they're out of sync. So what you just saw me do is pretty common. And if during the winter you would set something up where you could have a intermediate target, something on the ground, that you were going to aim over with your club face, and then you've got this intended target line which will help you feel and see where you want to be going. It will allow you to settle in and make your swing, and not your brain will not feel like you're off. Your perception would not be off. Your gut would know where you're going. So when I go to aim, I pick my target out there in the distance, and then I'm looking really close, and then I'm walking in from directly behind, and then I'm staying 90 degrees or behind the 90 degrees to where I'm aiming, and then after I've aimed my club face, then I arrange my body. So now I'm aimed directly at you, my target. You want to learn to calibrate how to aim just like that during the winter with several of your clubs, and then when you go to the range or you're on a mat and inside, you want to walk in after you've warmed up and do this process so it transfers to your game when you go to play golf next season. So I'm hitting this way, and this would represent parallel to my target line, and this blue stick is perpendicular. That's where I want my club face to be aligned, and I don't want my body to go over here with my feet before I aim my club face. So when I go to walk in, I've got my intended target where I've got the T and the other white stick, and then when I walk in, you do not want to go on this side of that blue stick before you aim your club face. So you can start with your left foot kind of right on the back of your golf ball, especially with irons, and get your club face aimed over your intended target area right here. And then step for your stance and orient your feet so that you are more square to your target line, and you're not putting your feet in first and getting over here in setup. This is a big issue that I see, and it's something you can work on in the winter. Just like Liz, I see a lot of golfers getting preoccupied with where they exactly need to move the club in space with their hands. And one of the things you can do over the winter is work on your range of motion, but also on how you pivot, how you coil and uncoil to create a free moving golf swing. So I've got this blue stick inside my right foot, my right instep, and what you want to be able to do from a golf posture with balance is to be able to turn so that the club that's on my shoulders turns over the blue stick going back, and that'll help you free up your arms and also then sequence the follow through. And you want to train that just like this multiple times, so your hands and arms will follow your pivot. So what we're going to do is left shoulder goes down, right hip goes back, and there's no sway. So it's left shoulder goes down, right hip goes back, the ribs wind, my club is over the blue, then I need to get back onto my left foot, and then right shoulder under my lower body, my belt buckle's leading, and then I post up on my left leg, shoelaces of my trail foot towards the target. If you train this in for your pivot, you're gonna end up with a more flowing golf swing, and you're also gonna be thinking less about how to move the club, because as you go to move the club back, if you're pivoting and going up and down like that with the rotation, it should be easier for you to time and synchronize your arms and hands. And then the next few things that I did with Liz, you're going to see on the video how I did a number 1 swing, and then I went to the L swing, and then I went L to L to help with getting the club delivery with compression and getting ball then turf afterwards. That's going to be very valuable to all of you that want to launch the ball, that want to get more consistent golf shots. And this would be part of the winter training program that you would want to do. These 2 exercises that I did with in the summary with the lesson with Liz. We're doing an overlap grip and putting the thumb in the lifeline. And then the index finger is a little spaced away, and then the other thumb is diagonal also. So there's no visible gap here. This is pinched together and it's pointing more to my right shoulder, right ear, and then this is pointing more to my right ear, yeah? So then we've got the left forearm like that, and we've got our right forearm more up as if we're giving blood. And then basically we've got the ball aligned just a little bit forward of center. And then we're hinging over from our hips. And we're going to take one small step, ankles under feet. And then basically we're going to use the ground as we move the club away. So we're going to kind of push down on the club a little bit and rotate around our spine and inside our right hip. So that would be 1, right? Then we'd move our pressure to our left foot, and our hips would start to turn, and then the club head comes down, hits the ball, and we go to the opposite side of a 1 swing. So our club head is below our hands, yeah? So it would look something like this. Have you ever seen golfers do practice swings and not have awareness of, they think that it feels right and they're doing multiple practice swings, but then when they go to hit the golf ball, they don't know what was different? To be able to improve your golf for the next season, and if you're going to do practice swings, you need to have accountability and create awareness of where the club face is as you're swinging, particularly when you're swinging into the strike area and past the ball. So I've got a drill here for the winter practice. So when you go to set up, your club face is pointing in the direction you want to send the ball. And then when you go back, a lot of you are not aware when you come into this area, but the club face is open. So the ball is going to go off to the right. What you need, whether it's an impact bag or whether it's like the bottom of a cushion or the bottom of your golf bag or a tire on a push cart or a golf cart, what we need is get the sequence, but also for the toe to win the race. We need the orbit the hands so that we're turning the club face this way. So we need the toe to win the race and continue on past impact. So I did that a few times. Now when I swing, I'm going to feel like the toe has gone past the heel of the club. So the toe goes around the shaft. You create more of that movement, you're going to stop your slicing, and you're also going to have a more effective awareness of where your club face is when you swing. It's videos like this that I enjoy doing. I would love to get your feedback on this video, what's helping you, whether it's on course, whether it's a short game shot, or whether it's how to do a specific move in your golf swing. So I look forward to getting some feedback. And if you follow along in these steps and you do these steps that I'm showing you, you should be able to, during the winter, improve aiming, improve posture and balance, improve how you pivot, and have these things more down so that you're having those things in place and not having to consciously manage when you go back out on the grass in the early spring. And if you would be willing to subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. See you next week.